It would help if I was not muted. I have fallen victim to the mute button. Oh, all right. Hey, everybody out there. Who is watching the Super Bowl currently? Because it's very interesting. And it's definitely not how I expected it to pan out so far. Um, and Kendrick calling out Drake was kind of a big deal. I mean, you guys all think of that. Oh, so as you can see, I am very comfy, snuggy in here. We got some of Sean's weather last night, so we got some snow on the ground. So it is chilly, it is cold, and I am comfortable. You may hear some noise in the background because my daughter decided to at 8:30 at night start making cookies. So there's that. So Kendrick isn't a bitch, huh? Yeah, that was some pretty big cojones. I was quite surprised on that one. Yeah, JC, I'm really kind of torn. I mean, it is an entertainment, so it is kind of fun to watch. But then again, it's also kind of like scary now because since all those, shots, these poor players that are in the prime of their life and healthy and happy are just scarily passing out on the field, which just boggles my mind. Hey everybody. So we got who do we got? We got Cindy K, we have JC, we have Sean who made, and I'm probably biased because it's mine, but the best intro I have ever seen in my entire life. Claw Rabbits, welcome everybody. Miss Leah. Hey. So I had a very busy week. A Monday, one of my friends' grandfathers passed away, so we had um, beautiful funeral and after dinner after that. It was nice, you know. And Wednesday, so my poor little Emma. So here we go about Miss Emma. So Miss Emma, I thought had allergies to pollen and trees. Generally between like spring, summer, fall, her allergies are like crazy. Like itchy, watery eyes, the nose, the cough, the postnasal drip, all of it. When we would treat it, the doctor, her primary care doctor was like, well, treat it with, Claritin if it gets bad. You do the saline, the showers, the steam. My next door neighbor sells honey, so we've been doing honey every morning, and she's generally pretty good. And then she started school, and they always have this cough that just lingers and lingers. And then we had wildfires. We had fire down the street about 2 miles that way. Then we had another fire about the same time, 2 miles down the road the other way. And then, like 2 miles the other way, another fire. Yeah, Sean, she is definitely tired of my bullshit. Me and my Emma are the ones that go toe to toe. She's the one where my husband's like, babe, you're arguing with yourself here. Just shh and go away. Just walk away. It is brutal, but she's my love bug. She is my snuggler, my cuddler. She is a good one. Leah, it was bad here. So when the fires happened, that cough, that tickle she said in the back of her throat came back, and no fevers, um, no nothing. And we just couldn't figure it out. We were treating it with the Claritin, which works, the nebulizer treatments. So finally, the school nurse one day called me up and she was like, hey, this was the prior week to her appointment with the allergist. So she was like, Gina, it's really, really, really bad tonight. And I was like, okay, is it like, can we fix it with some like water, a few minutes of rest in the nurse's office, which usually helps. And she was like, no. And that particular day, they went outside finally to play for recess because if it's under 32 degrees here for some reason, they're afraid they're going to freeze to death and they don't let them outside. So it was like super windy that morning. She came in, the nurse called me and she was like, do you think you could pick her up, bring her home and do a treatment and you can bring her back because she has no other symptoms? So I was like, okay. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try something. So I went there and the nurse was like, here, listen. So I put the things in my ears and it sounded like 1,400 windows down a hallway with a breeze going through. Like the wheeze was crazy. And I was like, that is bad. So what we did is we gave her the Claritin, which I can't stand, which I'm looking into different ways that we can rectify this or keep it under wraps after our preventative care that we have going on right now. So we gave her the Claritin. The nurse called her down before they left for the school bus, and the wheezing was completely gone, guys. Like gone. So in an hour and 15 minutes, I was like, this has to be an allergy to something, 100%. So I finally bring her to the doctors again and explain the situation. So they had her like blow into this machine, which kind of looked like a phone. They put like a blue thing in it, and she's got to like breathe and then like blow into it. Hey, Cass, to see, how far she can push stuff out of her lungs. So it came back with like a slight blockage, which we figured would happen. So she was like, what we're going to do is I'm going to prescribe this inhaler. I knew of the normal ones, the albuterol as like a rescue inhaler if she needs it. But then she's like, we're going to start her on this other inhaler, which is a steroid inhaler, low dose, just to get her lungs to kind of simmer down, calm down, and just heal so they're not constantly inflamed. She's like, but I do have to let you know there are some side effects, which, I figured, the rapid heartbeat, shakiness, hunger, all that fun stuff. Hey, Frankie. And stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I mean, if we're only using it short term for a month just to get it under control, I understand it needs to be done. She's like, there is one side effect that I have to tell you. And she kind of chuckled. And I was like, well, I wonder what this is going to be. She goes, well, we have learned through prior, clinical trials that this one particular inhaler can stunt kids' growths. And I was like, we don't have much height to begin with. Like, do I really want to do this? You know what I mean? And I was like, this is bad. Like, she's already short like me. It is what it is. You're going through the same thing. Yeah, Cass, it's crazy. So she was like, well, first, she's like, it almost kind of sounds like exercise induced asthma. And I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? And she was like, here's the inhaler, stuff like that. So I was like, okay. She's like, I want you to get an appointment with the allergist to get her in for some allergy testing. She's like, but they are booking out crazy insane, like 6 months to a year, like crazy. She's like, so see what the appointment you can get and we'll see you in a month. And I was like, okay, cool. I called the place down the street and they were like, great news. We had a cancellation next week. And I was like, I'll take it. So we go in and, she's a little nervous, but she's my trooper. She had open heart surgery when she was 5 years old. She is my emotional one. So if you say boo to her, she'll like cry. But this little girl is like, she has the most pain tolerance I think I've ever seen in any of my children, which is crazy. So we go in and the doctor's talking to us, um, explaining everything that they're going to do, like what's going on. So I was like, oh, she has allergies. Like it's already notated um, in her like folder. So every year they know. So I was like, everything's going to be fine. Like we got this under control. So they come in, they put us in a room, they put the things down, all 40 of them, they like scratch their surface. And we were expecting something. And the only one that was raised was just the histamine one, which just lets the doctor know that we stopped taking the Claritin and there was no Benadryl, like a control one that they know it's working. So she comes back in after 15 minutes and none of them are raised. So she did dog, cat, dust, dander. There were 40 of them, trees, all this stuff. So she came in and she was like completely baffled. She was like, I expected something for sure. So she's like, well, we're going to do 8 more up top, which she was a little more nervous for because they were like, not like the other one almost looked like a tray with like little, like 10 spikes on each side that they just kind of like push down. But up here on the arm, they're like little shots where they push the stuff into the underneath of her skin. So it doesn't go like all the way in. It's just like under the epidermis a little bit. Waited 15 minutes and the teeniest tiny, she needed a flashlight for mold. So she said last year the mold was insane. It was terrible. It was bad. So we're thinking she has zero allergies to pollen, which is 100% what I've been treating her for. And, the allergist was explaining that most people aren't really allergic to the pollen that's outside. It's the mold spores in their homes or even outside. Outside, it can be just as bad. So, what she diagnosed her with was non allergy induced rhinitis. So, in other words, her nose just decides it wants to inflame for any reason at any time. It could be anything. There's nothing particular that she is allergic to. So, I started doing this research on what we can kind of do. And there's so many different things. And I'm going to bring up here a couple of, take that down and move me over here. And we're going to go over here to non-allergic rhinitis. So, non-allergic rhinitis involves sneezing or stuffy, drippy nose, and it has no clear cause, people. No cause, zero. It just happens. And it's the weirdest thing. And there are a lot of different factors. There's dust, there's fumes. It could be a perfume, it could be a lotion. One day she could be fine with it, the next day it could bother her, and then the next day it doesn't. Obviously, weather changes, stuff like that. You would expect that. Medicines, hot or spicy foods, and she is my spicy girl. She loves her hot and spicy foods. And she gets really nervous when she has that rattle in her chest because she had open heart surgery, and the doctors instilled that you need to wash your hands, you need to make sure you stay healthy, drink your water, take your vitamins. So when she gets that rattle, it like freaks her out, and she's like a hot ball of anxiety. Like, it's so bad. So we did everything, and again, this says that it doesn't cause an itchy nose, eyes, or throat. But the allergist said that's not true. It can be caused by that. So, what we're currently doing is we are clearing out her nose. We are trying to reduce the dust in the house by, dusting even more. Just little things like that. But we're hoping that once we get the steroid inhaler in her, I have to do that two puffs in the morning, 2 at night. She gave her like a new nasal spray, and I talked to her about, I don't like all of the steroids and stuff like that. It's not good for anybody, you know what I mean? So thankfully she was like, oh, I can give her this nose spray. It's not Flonase. So I didn't know this, guys, but Flonase is a steroidal spray. So if you're using that 24/7 all the time, you are doing some major damage in that nose. JC, I have oil for heat. So we have forced hot water baseboards, but it is still dry, dry, dry. So we always have to have humidifiers going here. And, sometimes I'll even just throw the shower on and let the steam just completely fill the upstairs. Even if it's not steamy, it's still got the moisture going. But it's just been so dry, even with the snow. the humidity in my room has been at 20%, which is very low. You know what I mean? Um, and this poor girl, like I just feel bad. She does not contain a lot of dairy. So that was my other thing. We're going back in a month to see if maybe, I'm going to ask if there's a food allergy. Like, I don't know what they tested for. I'm sure I could find that out. Um, and the other thing I definitely know I need to do, which I may have to start, like, selling feet pics or, I'm just kidding. But replace the rugs, or maybe even in her room, getting rid of the rugs completely. And maybe just having like a floor runner next to her bed and stuff like that. So I've done a lot like research. So I do have to get a humidifier, but there's also another thing that she told me to get, that you can drop them in. I actually found one at Walgreens. It's shaped like a fish. And you put it in, and it helps filter the water in there. And then, guys, I saw some horror stories and stuff like that. Humidifiers, you gotta be cleaning them. So the other thing she told me to do was to stop using the Cloroxes, all of those aerosol sprays, and only to use a mixture of vinegar and water. And you spray it on anything and everything, and it's a disinfectant. It completely gets rid of all the germs. It's safe. It's effective. The smell only lingers for a little while, and then I got into this rabbit hole that, like, peel your oranges, throw them in, a glass container with the vinegar, let it sit for a week, and you have your own citrus spray, which is good for the air, and all sorts of stuff. And if you have little ones at home, if they're touching the doorknobs and stuff like that, they put their hands in their mouth, it's just vinegar. It's not going to make them sick or anything. 33 to 0. My daughter just came in. I did not expect this. The Super Bowl is completely blowing my mind. Yeah, Cass, I had no idea. And I'm sorry your little one is going through this, but it is like crazy. Like, it's not asthma. And it was crazy. We started the saline spray. We had to do that, clean our nose out, then use the antihistamine nose spray, and then the steroidal um inhaler. And then she like brushes her teeth and stuff like that after. And for 24 hours in, I haven't heard this girl cough once. So it is definitely working. We have to go back in a month, so she can listen to her lungs, look in her nose. She said when she looked in it, instead of the nose passageway being like pink, it was kind of like a off color, which and signifies that, something's definitely going on there. So then I went into another rabbit hole where I was looking up things. So 5G, because she hasn't had this cough didn't start getting really bad consistently until after COVID. Okay. So then I was looking up different things here, and I'm going to share my screen again so you guys can see this one before I read the other one. She. All right. So Sean actually sent me this one, things you can do at home to help with the toxic load that we are completely surrounded by in this culture. It's everywhere, from the plastic bowls, the plastic containers, the shampoos, the sprays, the laundry, the whole thing. So I was thinking about the mold, because that was the one I just hit on, which she said pretty much everybody is allergic to mold. It's there are a lot of hidden toxins like EMF and environmental stressors. So it got me thinking, you know, your plastic chopping boards, your cookware, your water, your EMF reduction. So this took me into a big rabbit hole. So, things they suggested right here to swap them out, turn them off at night, Faraday bags, stuff like that. So, I ended up going into the 5G sickness, which is quite interesting. So, the thing of EMF, what they call EMF sickness. So, what it stands for is electromagnetic hypersensitivity, EHS. It's a term to describe a range of non-specific symptoms. And I have noticed that when she goes to school, the uptick of that tickle and that cough is even more. And they're surrounded by it everywhere. Is there mold in the school? Probably. But the doctor said that wouldn't really be enough. And she said it could be maybe, perfume that someone's wearing or Clorox wipes or any of that stuff. Um, you know what I mean? And then it got me thinking of this. So, symptoms that can include skin symptoms. So, redness, tingling, burning, itching, or rashes. This is all coming from everything we're using our cell phones, our laptops, the router that's right next to me, my cable boxes, anything that connects to your Wi Fi, even your washing machine or your fridge, if it has that. It is crazy. Exactly, Cass. And that's what I'm wondering with a lot of this stuff that they're saying that it's long COVID or COVID symptoms or stuff like that. Like we thought it was asthma. We thought, could it a simple fix be to block out some of the radiation that we have? So it can also cause, I'm going to butcher this, neurosynthetic symptoms. So it can cause fatigue, tiredness, dizzy, nausea, heart palpitations, and digestive disturbances. It can mess with your nervous system. It can cause headaches, stress, sleep disturbances, um, tendinitis, the ringing in the ears, muscle pain, concentration, anxiety, panic disorders. And it kind of goes into she's a terrible sleeper. She talks in her sleep. She always wakes up and her lips are super dry, which means she's not breathing through her nose. She's breathing through her mouth, no matter what we're doing, humidifier, all of that stuff. So my next step is to maybe purchase some Faraday bags, maybe turn off or unplug the router at night. But like JC said, we're living in the era of the microwave. You know what I mean? That's the next thing. My kids are like, "You're crazy. I'm not getting rid of the microwave," and I'm like, "Oh, maybe." And then she's like, "Well, I might just put a little one in my room," and I was like, "No, no, no, that's not going to happen." But I'm just putting this kind of out there, for all the ones that have little kids or even just for yourself. Like I've talked to a lot of adults the last few years that say, ever since COVID and the lockdowns, they just have this tickle. But it also coincides at the same time they were erecting hundreds of thousands of 5G towers. They're even in the street lights. Some of the cities and towns, which I wrote that down on my little handy dandy list as well. But some of the street lights, they switched the lights to those blue lights, um, which we all know that they're selling glasses to defer the blue lights from your computers and your screens. And, even at night, I click my button 1, 2, 3, my phone turns red. So at night, I stop that blue light. Yes, Shanghai necklace. There are lots of crystals that you can wear that filter out, some of the EMFs. I know Steven, he's not here, but Late Night Ramblings, he does an ad on Rumble for 5G radioactive butt cream, like all those things. But they have these buttons or pins that you can stick on your devices, and it helps control the radiation that comes from your phone and stuff like that. So, I mean, I have no other explanation. I mean, non allergic, it's like all of a sudden her lungs just want to be like, oh no, like there's got to be a trigger. Whether they say it's non allergic or something you're allergic to, it has to be something that is bothering you. Like it doesn't happen out of nowhere. Our bodies are smart. They're made to heal each other. Red light doesn't impair your night vision. Oh, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Um, yeah, Cass, school definitely makes it worse. It's crazy. Me and my son have them on our phones. Oh, are you talking about the those buttons? Yeah, it's I forget the website, but if you just look up like the stuff for like the Faraday bags and stuff like that, like you can put them on your phones or your devices, and it just helps, I guess, control it. But Jesse, he was on our show, on my show the other night. He's actually going to start coming on to talk more. I mean, he's my crystal guy. He's my, frequency guys, and there's a whole bunch of cool stuff, guys, that we can dig into. Like Jesse was telling me one day that the clothing that you wear, because we know everything has a frequency, right? So like the clothes you wear, like if you wear like cotton clothes with like a spandex, the frequency of those clothings, they like interfere with our bodies and the way our bodies are supposed to do. So that is completely fun and completely interesting. Um, but that's just how my week has been. So it is working. I'm hopefully um, figure out that cough so she can you know, be able to run around and play and not have people look at her constantly because she's like craft. Yeah. Rabbits. Long term prednisone pills are terrible. Terrible. They're going to mess with your body, your bone density, everything. Hey. Um, yeah, 432, 440. I play that on my TV at night. Again, something I need to maybe kind of take out of the bedrooms. I don't know. Yeah, Kravitz, you got to look into something better. Um, have you been to an allergist yet to find out like what your wheezing is contributed to, like, and maybe like need stuff out, or maybe it is the 5G or the Wi-Fi or the EMFs that are coming from your electrical box and stuff like that, because it's not just like the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Like it's any electronics. People with MS have to use prednisone, which causes either, yeah. MS is not fun. COPD. My mother-in-law has COPD, so I understand completely. But Kravitz, another thing, um, and this is probably going to get me booted off of YouTube, but that's okay. Vectormycin, or I always say it wrong. Look into that. I might be able to send you stuff, or maybe I can do it even on one of my shows. But vectormycin is also one of those tools that they can use to help cure COPD. Everything we have is curable. I mean, that stuff is crazy. Your oxygen level is 84. Gosh, that's like breathing through a straw, Kravitz. How are you breathing? Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Terrible. Yeah, the trigger is always the key. You got to find what it is. And that's why the allergist came in and she was like, she's not allergic to anything. I mean, slightly to mold, which majority of the people are allergic to dust and mold, but she didn't even break out on the dust one. You know what I mean? And I figured 100% she would have, you know what I mean? Like it's, it's just mind baffling sometimes quickly. Yeah, it's crazy. Kravitz, are you on like oxygen all the time? Like, do you have the portable oxygen that you use and stuff like that? That sounds scary. Um, so I've kind of went through all of that. Um, I really didn't plan too much for this night because this week, like I said, has been crazy. It has been busy. We got the Super Bowl going tonight. I didn't know, you know, how busy and how, stuff like that is going on. But I do have a few shows coming up. I do know on I believe the 23rd, me and Chris at my morning mayhem, we're going to be doing a podcast for all the symbolisms in movies and in Hollywood, um, all of the hidden messages and possible meanings. And I'm super excited about that because it's literally in everything. And I figured with like the Super Bowl and usually the weird stuff they do during that halftime show, it's crazy. Yeah, Kravitz, I felt so bad for her. It got to the point where the only time she wouldn't cough would be when she was sleeping. Like it's crazy. Oh, thank you, JC. Love, love, love. Um, if you like doing that, make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you'd like to support the channel, you can always become a monthly subscriber. I also do have Venmo, which you can see right up here. You can find me at SHRTY7081. Also down here too. You can find me on Venmo as well. But I am, like I said, we got some good topics coming up. Next week, I don't know exactly. I have two that I'm kind of researching. They kind of go hand in hand. I'm not going to give it away just yet because I may do a little quick hit, like a little commercial, a Gina commercial, during the week, like you see on TV. Like, tune in Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time to see blah, 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 blah. Like, just, I guess, kind of sell myself. That sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean. But it'll definitely be fun. I don't know what's going in my chat, but we got people installing lights with, screws and lube and just took a weird turn down there. So, I think my daughter literally made 2 dozen cookies. She's bringing them to school, some of them to school tomorrow. So, hopefully my kitchen, it looks like a meth lab out there with the flour and the baking soda all over the kitchen. Oh, girl. Make sure you clean up after yourself, please. It's all, you got to put the stuff away, honey. Okay. I did not say you were a filthy animal. I just said you had to clean up after yourself. I am not at liberty to tell. Oh, JC has secrets. JC probably has the juiciest secrets ever. She Look at how thick and beautiful. I mean, that cookie is missing some chips, but look at that. They're warm right out of the oven. So good. I don't know, baby. I didn't make them. Oh, so that is how my weekend. We got her breathing, which was great. Said goodbye to a beautiful soul this week. Thank you. Can you tell? Right, Leah? All the time. All the time. So like I said, this Sunday I do have two. They kind of go hand in hand because I went down one rabbit hole. And and anybody who does conspiracies or even just like Google something, and then you get in this algorithm on all of your listening social medias, and it brings you into this conspiracy side of TikTok or X or Instagram. And now I'm seeing things and I'm like, what? That can't be. Wait a second. And you just start connecting the dots and connecting it like, and then I don't know, it's so weird. Like I literally feel like I'm in a movie. And I don't know if I'm the only one feeling this way, but I feel like I'm in a movie and I'm just waiting for somebody to either like wake me up and be like, "Hey, wake up. It was all a dream." Like, or like one of the lights from like the Truman Show, the movie, where like the microphone boom just like falls out of the sky, or he like, oh, and that was the other thing. He sails off on the ship and he hits the like the end of the world. It's like a curtain that's painted like the ocean, and Elon Musk shared that and was like, or something like that. And I was like, this is so interesting. Like, or different things. Like I watched The Big Bang Theory, and in one of the episodes, they're like, yeah, Elon Musk thinks that we're all just NPCs in this virtual video game. And it's like, it's just so weird. Yeah, Lear, it's gonna be great. Oh, today, well, you guys are talking about what was for dinner. I made a Thanksgiving dinner. Turkeys were on sale. I'm not a big turkey fan, but 15 bucks, I was like, let's do it. Cause I do like Thanksgiving sandwiches. So I made a turkey dinner with stuffing, um, corn, mashed potatoes, um, roasted sweet potatoes with rosemary, homemade gravy. And then we made what we call dippity doo for the game, which is basically just salsa with Mexican cheese and cream cheese, and you bake it in the oven till it gets all creamy. You can put olives in it. I ate so many olives as a kid that I literally am appalled and disgusted by by olives now. They're just gross. Oh, everyone's gonna run over to Cass's house. She's got finger food, so she's got barbecue smokies. Oh, are those like the little wieners? My husband likes the little hot dog things wrapped in bacon, and then he makes this like sauce with like ketchup, brown sugar, I think a little like cayenne or pepper or something like that, and he bakes them in the oven. Twice baked potatoes, cold pasta, etc. Cass, we're coming. We're coming. Leah's making, oh, what she got? Oh, her dad's making burgers tonight. Guys, if you don't follow Leah, you got to follow Leah. She posts pictures of all her food all the time. Girl be eating like a queen. It's crazy. Ugh. This thing, my mother-in-law got me this for like Christmas, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. It's supposed to be like a sweatshirt, but I'm so short it comes down to like my shins, like, and it's got this really nice hood you can put on. All like mysterious. And then it's got like a pouch so you can put whatever you want in it, but it's super comfy and it's super warm. And now I feel like I have air everywhere. And we should do that one night. We should just all have like, you guys can email me all your favorite recipes and we can just have a show one night and just go over different recipes. Cracked it. Velveeta cheese, 1 can of cream of mushroom or chicken soup, breakfast sausage, ground up and fried, and a jar of salsa. That sounds fire. When it is melted together, it's ready. Do you cook it on low or high? And how many hours? Leah, post your X handle, love. Guys, I found out last night what what the meaning of rack of lamb really meant. You know? Oh gosh. Yeah, see? Gotta do it the same. Oh no, I guys, I'm totally like the game's on. I'm gonna try to do this. Hopefully I put keep my shirt down. I literally have more pajamas on. I am completely comfortable tonight. It was very, 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 very snowy. So little smokies. Yeah, my husband loves those, but it has to have the bacon. I think it's like I said, brown sugar, ketchup. I don't know. There's a few things under there. Cass is inviting us all over. So maybe one show we can all travel. Cass, you should come on one night. Oh, too many layers. I only have 2 layers on. I have my snuggie and my t-shirt. Although now that like this light is like beaming in my face, it is getting warm. Oh, guys, someone in the chat, Leah or Sean, can you explain to Mr. Kravitz or Miss Kravitz? I forget. I apologize. I'm so sorry. What a rack of lamb is. Boobs. Your boobs. A rack of lamb are boobs. See, I would never have thought a rack of lamb would be in reference to like chesticles. Like rack of like lamb, I would think like somebody's thighs, like thighs and hips, like, like that, the butt. You know what I mean? 637? What's that mean? Oh, 6 Chiefs, 37. Gotcha. Jerry Stiller did. Cindy K is also stumped if Kravitz was a Mr. or Mrs. Are we going to have a bet on that one? Is it this or is it that? Yeah, see? Got a lesson. We were very confused and the gentlemen's were very helpful in mansplaining what a rack of lamb was. That was fun. Can't count them out. The Patriots did it once before, so you never know. Oh, I just stepped on my cord. All right. Clean up the kitchen. You eat the booze. Okay, Cass, you're behind. Is the lag that bad? Is it a whole minute? It's over. Eagles win. Woohoo. Yeah, they have like 9 minutes, my daughter said, to come up with like how many points? 31 points. So I never 100% thought the Eagles were going to win. One, poor Taylor. Oh, I watched some of it, but on X, you should see it. You're scrolling and all of a sudden you see like Taylor Swift on the Jumbotron and you hear the crowd, they're like, boo. And she like literally like is like watching the game like this. And she looks up at the camera and she's like, oh my God, I'm being booed for the first time. Oh, it is so great to see. Spread Eagles always win. You and me both, girl. Like, that's a whole nother rabbit hole that my daughter would probably disown me if I went down because I think Taylor Swift is one of the antichrists. She's beautiful. She looks like that lady from way back in the day with her and then all her singing and her dancing in ritual forms on stage. Oh, that's another one that'll be totally fun to go through. So like I said, I got lots of things this week. I got 2 topics that I'm trying to narrow down which one I want to do. I may have a surprise guest on and he just doesn't know it yet. Um, so we'll have to pick one and see what he thinks. And then, like I said, the 23rd, I have Chris coming on. We're going to talk about all the symbolisms and rituals that are embedded in Hollywood, and this and a lot of it that I'm seeing are actually in children's shows with the different shapes for different, whether they're into boys or whether they're into girls, and little kids or just sick, disgusting things. Kravitz, I heard that she was male as well. I also heard Chris is a little gay. Yeah, yeah. Leah literally wrote an entire Substack piece on how much Taylor Swift sucks. Leah, you need to send that to me. Maybe I can get you on. And if you're not comfortable, with the whole facey on the screen, maybe we can just have your voice, and maybe we can do like a whole one on how much Taylor Swift sucks. Yeah, Cindy K, she is not a good person. Like I said, I really feel like, I've heard stories and gone into that route too, where people go to her concerts and they forget like half the show. They don't even remember what's going on. They were there, they know they were there, and they're like, "Oh, I don't remember." Like just and then you have people that are like, "Oh, they would never do that straight to our face." And it's like, "No, but they do. And they will." And I know Trump is in office, and I'm sure he does secret things that we don't know about, and I'm sure it's going to continue. I feel like no matter what history I look into or I'm listening on the History Channel, power and fame, people do bad things for that. There's always good versus evil. I also saw too, Leah, that why am I drawing a name? Toby Keith that like helped her come to fame and fortune. Anyways, he's got like a huge painting, and they removed her, I believe, from that painting, so she's not in there anymore, and she shouldn't be. I don't even think she went to his funeral when he passed away. Like, just disgusting. You're not a camera person. That's okay, Leah. You can just call in and use your voice. We'll put your little. You'll have a little avatar. If not, that's okay. You can still just send me your paper, and I'll totally read that. Cindy K, that's another mystery that we can also. There's so many things. Like I have to stay focused, and that's the hardest thing. Like again, they're rabbit holes everywhere. You go down one, and there's like 15 other rabbit holes. It's like a cave dive that I would never ever I would never go scuba diving. Sounds like a horrible way to die, so I wouldn't even risk it. Yeah, there's Leah, there's a lot of them. You got your Miley Cyrus, you got Ariana Grande. Geez, look at Britney Spears, poor Britney Spears. That girl is a complete and utter, like, I don't know what's going on in her brain. And if you listen to some of her things, like when she came out the other day and she was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm gonna be 5." Like people are like, and down that rabbit hole are like, that's her alternate personality. Like when they clone them, that's like, I have no idea. Like just a weird rabbit hole. You're much more comfortable behind the scenes. You'll be like the secret assassin behind the scenes. Like we'll have to give you a role here at Mom's Mystery and Mayhem. Oh, Leah, maybe you could be the person that like if I have a topic that I'm talking about, like you could be my book girl and be like, "Hey, you really like this topic? Check out this great book." You know what I mean? That would be totally cool. Kanye went beyond crazy, Sean. It's kind of terrifying, and people glorifying and laughing, and The mental illness there is insane. Again, another rabbit hole. People don't even think that's Kanye West. They think it's a clone. And again, is this all just an act? Is this part of the show? You know what I mean? Like, look here, don't look here. So Kanye's acting like a fool on X. Is it to draw attention and to make him go into your, your algorithm as opposed to the stuff that you actually wrote? Because now you're probably all entertainment there as opposed to a lot more politics. You know what I mean? But I'm all for free speech. So silencing him, I mean, if he's not hurting anybody, I mean, I think people need to take that approach where if they're close to him to maybe help get him some help or just ignore and let him do whatever he needs to do to get whatever it is he's out. But it is completely, yeah, I've only seen stuff, Sean, that either somebody I know commented on one of their posts, but I haven't like gone to his page and clicked. And from what everybody is writing, I'm glad I didn't because there's just no need for that. That was like one of the commercials in the Super Bowl. The first like 45 seconds of it were just boobs. You know what I mean? Just complete boobs. And I was like, where is this commercial going? Like, I thought we were going to get away from, sex sells, which I know it does. I totally get it. But a full on commercial, 45 seconds of boobs. I mean, it's great for adults, but kids are watching this too. You know what I mean? It ended up being a commercial for like breast cancer awareness, but they totally could have done it a lot better as opposed to everybody loves boobs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, I know it was for breast cancer, but they could have just done it in a more tasteful and respectful way towards women. We're sitting here in a time where we're trying to again fight for our rights, which thankfully under, Trump we have again that men are not to be in women's sports. So we went from not having things to having our things to having men infiltrate our things to fighting back again for men to be out of our stuff and to have it just back to us. It's just I just figured they could have done it more tastefully as opposed to a minute clip of just boobs of all sizes in your, which again isn't a bad thing, but just not the right audience or the right time. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember when the TV didn't kind of show those things until like after 10 o'clock? Like after that commercial was like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are currently? Like those commercials. Like, and then you had all the after dark stuff. Yeah, it's the hypocrisy is there. I mean, you go through Twitter and any kind of social media, they all do it. I mean, from little kids all the way up, that's your heart and you know what I mean? When you pledge of allegiance or, you put your hand there and then you put it down or I I know there are different meanings behind different things, but it wasn't even originally from the Germans and the Nazis. It wasn't that. You know what I mean? Oh, you sent me more winter weather. I think we're supposed to get like snow like every 2 days or something like that. Crazy. Leah, you just got to come and visit. You just come and hang out and we can drink tea and read books and paint. It'll be so much fun. Um, but yeah, there's the whole world is just crazy. I feel like we're just like again in one big like movie. Like I feel like the whole world is fake. Everywhere I look, I'm like, oh no. It's weird. Um Leah wants you to send all the snow over to California. Leah, how's the man doing? Are the fires like calming down out there? Are they getting a hold of it? Are new ones popping up? I haven't really seen everything. You guys were kind of in the news, and then kind of forgotten, and then actually during the first few minutes of the Super Bowl, they actually marched down New Orleans and they had shirts on that were like North Carolina and LA fires. So then it made me think of it again. Um, but it's just kind of disappeared, you know what I mean? Cass, what state are you in? Yeah, JC, we had the ice storm last week. I think it was like Thursday, maybe Thursday or Wednesday into Thursday. I forget which night. But we had an ice storm, and literally the next morning, it was almost completely gone. The fires are all contained now, so he's all good. We're expecting more rain this week. Oh, that's great. That's great. So we're kind of neighbors. I mean, the drive would be okay. It wouldn't be a terrible drive. Wednesday into Thursday, you got 6 inches. Yeah, there's like lots. I didn't see any on the map. Minnesota. Minnesota, goodbye. Oh, Lear, I love you, girl. Ice is no fun. I don't mind snow. I'm actually one of those people that even though I'm cold all the time, the winter is one of my favorite seasons. Sean explained this to me. I mean, I've never been diagnosed with like ADD or anything like that, but for me, when the sun goes down in the west side, the song lyrics too. But I'm more calm and more at peace at night. Like I'm awake, it's quiet, I love it. So the dark days don't really bother me. The sun actually makes me tired. Like when I go in the sun, it makes me like my eyes want to close. I want to go to sleep. Minnesota, eh? I that's the other thing I do. I just kind of break out in like random accents. I do even do it at home all the time. Like I was doing something on the porch and my daughter was like, "What accent is that one?" I was like, "I don't know." Also, she just messaged me 40 to 6. Um, so the Chiefs definitely have won. My husband also um the not the Chiefs, my bad. Um plays the squares and stuff, so I gotta check on him and see how he's doing there. Oh, watch out. The hot dog might be following you. Uh, hey, hey, it's over for the Chiefs. They're done. He didn't even look like when they all came home. Like Mahomes didn't even look like he was like in the game. He was like just looked bored. He was just on the sidelines, and my son was like, "Oh, they're supposed to treat this like any other game, like you know, just ignore that it's the last game." But I'm like, he just looks like he was bored. Like he already knew what was coming. Uh, all right, my lovelies. It is now 10 o'clock. Unless you guys have anything else, any questions or anything like that you would like to ask, we're going to wrap it up soon. I got to let the puppy out and make sure the kitchen's all picked up. And I want to thank you guys for joining me again on another Sunday evening. And it's gonna be hopefully a great week. Like I said, we do have more snow coming. Sean likes to just kick it right over to my direction for some reason. But that's okay because when it snows, everything's so quiet, so peaceful, and I have a lake across the street, so we have a lot of deer that travel. So you see the deers. We have bunnies that come out. We have a fox that likes to make an appearance every so often. Uh, like all seasons, they got through the refs. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, all the memes out there were like, if it, and that's why I'm surprised the Chiefs didn't win. You know what I mean? Because that's the refs. The refs were supposed to win. Uh, Oh, thanks, Leah. I'm getting good at this. You've hit my shot. I know I'm learning to kind of, I guess, talk to myself in a different way. Because I do talk to myself anyways during the day and I answer myself sometimes. So it just worked. Sean is snubbing you. Oh dear. Cindy K. I think he still loves you. Sean loves you. It was a very, very, very long show. Da, da, da. Oh, see, Cindy loves you. He loves you big time. All the big hearts. I love how friendly and how lovely everybody is to each other in the comments. And even when you guys disagree on things, it's very civil and it's very grown up. And I can't believe I have to say that in this world because there's so many childish things that people do out there. It's just insane. He does. Oh, what movie is that where he loves me? He really loves me. Forget what movie that is, but we all love you, Cindy K. Yeah, grown ups, exactly, Cass. It's the weirdest things. I have to say that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, the love in the comments are lovely. All right, guys. So before I get into that Minnesota goodbye, um, I am going to say goodbye again. Like I said, I think I'm going to try, like in the middle of the week, kind of put out a quick little blurb of what is coming for the Sunday show. So that'll be fun. So I just want to wish everybody a happy Sunday night. I hope your Monday mornings are lovely, peaceful, calm, and brings you an amazing week. Got to have an amazing week for an amazing weekend. Yes, exactly. Sean, if you want to, I think it's everybody in here, but I'll post it up there for my YouTube followers as well. But if you want to post your channel tag there, and I can put it up on the screen for you. But make sure you go ahead and give Third Railify Sean a like and subscribe as well. He is the one who did the intro for my show, which was absolutely stunning. I did one. I should play it for you because it's absolutely horrible. Um, and Sean was like, please, please don't play that. I will help you. And he was like, what do you like? And I was like, well, I really love like the mystery and the mayhem and the craziness. Like, and my favorite movie growing up was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So I was like, can you kind of make it like the tunnel when he's going through the tunnel? Like that scary part that's terrified every child, like never know which way you're rowing. Like that part, like it was awesome. Play it. Oh God, Sean. All right. I'm gonna play it real quick, guys. It is terrible. Do I even have it in here or did I like boot it out? Let me see. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. Pictures. Okay, it's downloading now. Guys, it is it is terrible. Snakey, that's your favorite movie too? That was like my all-time favorite movie. I had like 3 or 4 of those tapes because I played it so much that like it wouldn't wind anymore. Like the film that was in the cassette player totally broke. Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. But I want it now. It's one of my I could probably like just put it on and word for word say the whole entire movie. Oh no. No, Cass. It's bad. It's trying to load right now so I can play it for you guys, but I didn't think it was bad until Sean sent me the one he made, and I was like, well, damn, that was bad. All right, here we go. Don't laugh too hard. Absolutely terrible. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, that is like when Sean sent me like the rough draft of the one that he made me, and I showed my kids, they were like, that looks like an opening scene for like the opening credits or like a trailer for like a movie. And I was like, yeah, starring me. Like, it's even more crazy when you see yourself in it because you're like you could just like the kids played it on the big TV, and I was like, oh my God, like, can we move my faces out of there and just play that? Because it is like awesome. No, no, guys, it was that bad. It was bad. Yeah, it's like the one Sean did is it's literally like a trailer for a movie. Like you expect, like you see that, and then you would expect to like come to a scene like where Gina shows up and she's like in this beautiful, like as I imagine, like a greenhouse setting with all my plants behind me and sunlight, and then all that stuff. And then it's like boom, blurry camera. Like, just kidding, we're not cinema here. But it was really, yeah, it did look like that, Leah. It looked like an intro to a documentary on Netflix, or like it was crazy. And I thanked Sean all the time for it. Like, it was crazy. Like, I put that out and in 24 hours, and I just put it out as like a quick clip, you know what I mean, and shared it. And within 24 hours of just putting out that intro, I gained 5 followers. So that was the crazy part. Like, I just put it out there, shared it, and it was like magical time. And I just play it sometimes on my phone. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, on my big TV. And again, it just fits into, I feel like we're living, my hair is crazy tonight. In like this weird reality. But again, here we go. Now it's 10 minutes, that I have been rambling on and on and on. So I am now going to definitely um, say my goodbyes, because I do have to do a few more things before I put my butt upstairs to bed. And so I could take the dog out and pick up everything and make sure the little one has her clothes ready for tomorrow. So I just want to thank you all again. Yeah, this is crazy hair. I mean, it is tangled. It's like everywhere. Your hand lotions. Yeah. My hands are really dry. You can probably see it on camera. It's dry hair. It's bad. Um all right. So, again, I want to thank you all. Love you. I am going to try to put out, like I said, a little quick clip to give you guys a little sneak peek of what Sunday night show will hold. And I look forward to seeing you all again. And I will see you guys all in Sean's chats and Handy's chats and Lou's chats. And it'll be a real great time. Thank you, everybody.